Back again. Back again. No. Day 82 of the 1,000-day challenge. Managed to finish off the Bible. So she's all done now. Now, we're going back. Back to this beautiful gold book. The Iliad and the Odyssey. Look at that, isn't that nice? These gold binders, look at that beautiful shine in there. Amazing. I'm a sucker for the gold stuff here. Call me a gold digger, but I love it. MJ, how are you, bro? How you doing? It's been a little bit. No, I'm good. I'm good. Very, very determined. I watched the fights today on the UFC, so I'm very content. Non-stop action. Knockout after knockout after knockout. Happy days. I love a good fight card. It's the first UFC I've watched in a while. So, yeah, I was very happy. What about you, mate? How's everything been? I'm in the best condition. Oh, that's what I want to hear. In what way? Mentally, physically? That could mean a few different things. Where are we going with this? Alrighty. Then he went to rouse his brother, who was by far the most powerful of the Achaeans, and was honoured by the people as though he were a god. He found him by the stern of his ship, already putting his goodly array about his shoulders, and right glad was he that his brother had come. I finished my exams yesterday, and my grades are good, but I'm waiting for my GPA. It might come out tomorrow. Whoa, there you go. Exciting times. It'll be alright, it'll be a good score. Nice. How you feeling about it? Do you reckon you did alright? Then again, you don't want to jinx it at the same time, do you? Menelaus spoke first. Why, said he, my dear brother, are you thus arming? Are you going to send any of our comrades to exploit the Trojans? I greatly fear that no one will do this service and spy upon the enemy alone in the dead of night. It will be a deed of great daring. And King Agamemnon answered, Menelaus, we both of us need shrewd counsel to save the Argives and our ships, for Zeus has changed his mind, and inclines towards Hector's sacrifices rather than ours. I never saw nor heard tell of any man as having wrought such ruin in one day as Hector has now wrought against the sons of the Achaeans, and that too of his own unaided self, for he is son neither to god nor goddess. The Argives will rue it long and deeply. Run, therefore, with all speed by the line of the ships, and call Ajax and Idomeneus. Meanwhile, I will go to Nestor, and bid him rise, and go about among the companies of our sentinels, to give them their instructions. They will listen to him sooner than to any man, for his own son, and Meriones, brother-in-arms to Idomeneus, are captains over them. It was to them more particularly that we gave this charge. I'm going to start a diet soon. I need to lose weight because I'm currently 98 kilograms and I want to get down to around 75. Yeah, you don't want to hit the old century, the 100. Some big numbers are alright, but not when it comes to weight. That's good. That's a good goal. Cool Goku artwork. Yeah, it's a good little poster. I like that one. She's nice. Gotta love the Goku. He's a great inspiration for the gym. There you go. You're going to need one of those, MJ. Just get yourself a Goku poster. Some people look at Arnold. You know, the old Arnold videos. Some people, you know, you got Goku. You know, you got all sorts of people you can use as inspiration. Goku was my favorite anime character, yes. I don't know if I have another one better than him. He was the OG for me. Watching him for years. Nearly finished Dragon Ball. Rewatched that. We're up to where he faces Piccolo at the end. There's only like 10 episodes left on that. Oh, I love it. I want to lose weight because my health is more important than the pleasure of eating. True, true. I'll admit, I was, like I said, I'm doing the 6-pack challenge. And then the last couple of days, I sort of, because I hit day 60 and I was looking all right, I had like 2 or 3 days of bad eating and you just feel like shit. Like it feels good, yeah, for while you're eating it. And then afterwards you feel bloated, you feel terrible. Like it's trying to walk around with these weighted vests and all these weighted things. You just feel, ugh. You know, you feel sloppy. It's a mixture between, do you want to go through the suffering of being like hungry and yet like, and you sort of like got a lack of energy, but you're losing weight and you know it's better for you, or do you want to feel like good for like, I don't know, 20 minutes while you're eating and then feel shit for the rest of the time as well anyway? You know? I also like Dan Dan Kokoro and Charla Head Charla Song. I don't even know what those are. What are they from? Dan Dan Kokoro. Dan Dan Kokoro. What is that? Ah, GT. Is that a song, is it? Oh, look at that. True. Goku vs. Frieza fight is epic. Oh, and Dragon Ball Z, the original. Yep, the first time he ever went, you know, Super Saiyan. Yep. That was seriously legendary. That's a great scene if you want you know, motivation. Used to watch those videos as a kid, you know, with the music videos over the fight scenes. But yeah, if you just stick to it, MJ, give yourself like 90 days or 12 weeks or something like that. Just create a rough plan. If you have to, measure it. But as long as you stay consistent and you get little wins, it's probably better. Like, you probably don't want to do what I do, because I sort of really do half starve myself. But if you measure it, then you can, because what is it? Because you want to figure out what your maintenance is and what's going to lose weight, because you know, because I think like most people can eat like 2,200 calories and they might maintain, and then you can figure out what you need to take off a couple hundred from that and you will gradually lose weight. But otherwise, yeah, unless you're if you, I suppose you can go more on the heavy deficit side if you're not doing anything, or you're not like driving, or you're not you know, stuff like that, or doing crazy workouts or anything like that where you're going to get seriously drained. But he says as he does this himself. But yeah, there's a few approaches. As long as you're less calories go in than what you're burning, you'll be all right. I've gone through similar bloating experience. It's horrible. I eat 2 times a day between 10 a.m. and 5 a.m. Rest hours, I only fast, and every 30 minutes walking, it helped me to reduce 20 kilograms. Not bad. Not bad. The challenge is no takeout food, no alcohol, and no getting high while doing at least 30 minutes of reading, running, exercise a day. Well, this looks cool, and if you're 82 days in, it's very good. That's it, because that's the thing. I can have like food at home that I've cooked, but I just can't have like KFC and, you know, shit like that. Like, you know, McDonald's. I don't go to restaurants. You know, nothing like that. Like a coffee's all right, like at a coffee shop, but not like a cake or something like that, or like a, you know, that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, you know, like you can make your own like homemade pizza because it's a lot healthier than what you get at the shops, and it's not New York sized, because I usually go overboard when I used to go to the pizza shop. It wasn't good. So what did you do? So you went from, you ate 2 times a day between 10 and 5 p.m. So you're doing that intermittent fasting. You've got a certain window where you eat, a 7-hour window. Yeah, you eat 2 times in a day. I eat 2 times in a day between 10 a.m. and 5 a.m. rest hours. Or is that when you rest? I only fast in every 30 minutes walking. Well, so yeah, and obviously you've just, because it depends what you eat too. You weren't eating too bad of a food, because you could still eat 2 huge meals and be overweight if you got too many calories going in. I agree with you. Continuity is important. True. Yeah, the junk food is poison, and you feel it too. You know, like I noticed it with like KFC, for example. I don't know what they put in it, but if I eat it, my blood pressure will like shoot up to 170, the top number. Like it's really weird. I don't know what they put in it. If it's just the crazy amount of sodium and the salt and whatever else. But yeah, as long as you sort of eat half healthy, you know, you stay away from like heavy sodium, because if you eat like really salty foods, too much of it, like say you like have a packet of noodles or something like that, you'll you might gain weight just because your body's retaining the fluid. But you can have like egg noodles, which have no excess sodium in them, and you're completely fine. Chandu, how are you? You doing good? But yeah, consistency is the key. If you give yourself like 12 weeks, and even like once a month, you can have like a special meal if you wanted. I don't know, like you don't want to completely starve yourself. Depends how quickly you want to get there, you know. But I believe if you've like say like you're looking to lose what 98 to 75, that's like 23 kilos. So say you like every like 10 kilos or 7-8 kilos you lost, you know, you could treat yourself to something, you know. And it wouldn't be too bad as long as you got straight back on the train, you know, like of dieting. You don't want to go down that slippery slope where, unless you're one of those people where you have a cake and then all of a sudden you go back to eating crap all the time. But yeah, you know what I mean. As long as you're sticking to it and you're having those wins and you're seeing the weight come off, and you'll have days where like, you know, you'll get random inflammation. Like you can't, I don't think really anyone can lose weight all the time. I don't know if it's fluctuations from like the gym or like certain things in particular. Maybe it's a lack of sleep or stress. Like sometimes you'll be more inflamed. Like you know, like I've had periods where it was like I was like 83, 83.2, 83.4, and then when it like the weight went down, it was like 82.5. Like you'd lose a whole kilo or over a kilo for some reason. I don't know if it was just fluid or what it was, or inflammation. So like don't let those like days where it's going up put you off, because it's like, unless it's doing that for more than a week or so, then it's something to worry about. But otherwise a few days is fine. By following this, I got rid of 20 kilograms in 5 months, and I got my weight from 110 down to 89 or 90. Wow. My height is 181 centimeters, so 90 kilograms doesn't make me look fat, but imagine if my height was short, I would have looked like a woman. Yeah, true. My goal is to get around 80 kilograms before October 2026. See, look at that. We're all on a mission then. We're all on a mission to lose weight. I think we all want to lose weight a little bit. Like, do you want to just lose it for your health? Like, I know MJ, you want to do that. Like, what about you? Kowasan, is that your main reason for it? Because my ultimate reason, because I've been on blood pressure pills for a long time. Like I said, and because I haven't smoked and I haven't drank, like I've noticed the numbers are coming down, and I got a feeling the last key to the puzzle is eating healthy and losing weight too much. Like if I can get down to like, yeah, around that 75 mark where you got that low body fat. And so that sort of like combines. The 6-pack challenge is really an excuse to get down to a healthy body weight. I know it'll help your resting heart rate, especially if you've been doing cardio in the meantime. And I know that all helps towards like lowering your blood pressure. And eventually I want to get off my blood pressure medication. So that's where it's all headed to. Like I hope it culminates in that. But that's my ultimate reason. Like I'm not going to lie. Like if I didn't have blood pressure issues or anything like that, I wouldn't even care. I really wouldn't. I'd maybe just like at the weight I am now, I feel good. You know what I mean? But it's still slightly overweight. I'm 179.3 centimeters. I like how you put the 0.3 centimeters there. And weigh 98 kilograms. Do you think I can lose weight quickly during the summer period? It's steady. It's steady. Don't take Ozempic. All right, don't do that. You'll get a big bubble ahead and you'll look like Ariana Grande or something. You don't want that. You got to do it the old-fashioned way. Discipline. I don't know about quickly. It depends how much work you put in, you know? Like, you don't want to starve yourself. If you do, like, a fast, you know, that'll definitely help. Like, if you do a little fast, but you got to do that I'm pretty sure you've done fasts before. You know how to be smart about it. But, like, when I do a 3-day fast, holy moly, do you lose a lot of weight. But, that's the quickest way to do it. And then, like, slowly introduce low-calorie diets. But you don't want to go so low for so long that your body adjusts to the low calories and it slows it down again. It's just a mixture of moving around, eating all right, burning more calories than you're putting in your mouth, and it'll just slowly come off. Like there's no magic, you know, pill for it. It's just discipline and consistency, and that's it. and it will happen. Like, that's why you just set yourself a goal, like, during the summer period. So that's what, it's only just started. We're 15 days in. So you're like 2.5 months, 60, 75. You might be near your goal. You might get to about 80 in that period. I don't know about 75. You'd have to do some hardcore, a few fasts in there probably, but you don't want to lose that much too quickly. 3 months, 2.5 months is to lose like, what would that be? Shit, what's the maths on that? So you got like 23 kilos divided by, what is that? It's like 75 days. Yeah, it's like 300 grams a day, is it? That's a lot. That'd be a serious amount of weight to burn. Losing about 300 grams a day. Yeah, you would not be feeling good. You'd be feeling pretty rough doing that. Like I said, it's just slow and steady. As long as you know you're on the right path, give yourself like, you know, because what is it, 23 kilos? You maybe give yourself 15 weeks or something like that. Give yourself like 4 months. So yeah, October, November-ish, around there. And then you can probably do it by then. Like I said, a few, fasts would do it, you know. Being smart. And yeah, it's just hard work. Apart from my diet and exercise, there are 2 movies that helped me a lot in avoiding food and make sure I exercise my body many times in a day. To avoid food or overeating, the movie that helped me is Platform 2019. And for exercise, make my body move and not just sit on the chair all day. The movie that helped me is Rocky 4. Rocky! Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that'll help. I see these 2 movies at least 2 times in a week. I forward movies sometimes to see a few scenes, the motivating ones, but if someone with me, I watch them from the start again. That's one way to do it. Whatever motivates you, you know. Whatever motivates you. I just have the voice in my head of this guy who calls me a fat cunt, you know, and that motivates me. He's like, you fat piece of shit. You can't do it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck you. You light a fire under my ass. And that helps me. But yeah, movies can do it. Motivational speeches can do it. There's a lot of different things that can help you out. Whatever motivates you, you know. Rocky's a good one. Eat low-calorie food and exercise to burn more calories than you eat. Yep, and it's a slow burn. Just no Ozempic. Promise me you won't do Ozempic. Don't do that. Oh, I don't want that. Because then you'll be like, oh, Mitchell, you know, why do I have all these like health issues and all this other stuff? There's no way that doesn't come at a cost, you know. It's like it paralyzes your stomach and it does all these other things, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure people are getting all sorts of health issues from that because I know it's tempting to just stab yourself in the stomach so you can keep eating like a pig and somehow lose weight. But we all know like that's going to come at some cost. It just comes at a cost. You don't want to look like a Skeletor. Just do it the hard way. 90 days, 100 days of your life, you know, it's not so bad. You'll feel way better. And you know, and especially if you do it smart, you know, you don't have to go extreme. Even just like I said, doing a little bit under, you'll still feel fine. You'll be on the slightly hungry side, but you won't be like, oh man. Like as long as you're not getting lightheaded or anything, then it, you know, maybe just have like a handful of nuts or something like that. There's still like healthy foods you can eat that your body can use to burn. I don't know about like cutting out, like some people go crazy, like, oh, cut out all carbs. Don't have any bread or something like that. It's like, no, you can still eat that. Like your body needs like fuel, you know what I mean? I don't recommend doing like keto for too long. Keto is not good to do long term, seriously long term. Your body does like want, you know, pasta and bread and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just more the refined shit. Like super refined foods, you know, like you know, processed shit. But aside from that, you know, you can still have carbs. I'm not against carbs at all. I thought that speed makes you healthier because you get rid of excess harmful fat in the body and the body benefits. Speed makes you healthier. What speed? When you say speed, I'm thinking of amphetamines. I'm thinking of hard drugs. It's all about getting your body to slowly adjust. This is platform. What is that? I've never seen platform. In platform movie, the food platform represents the gross domestic product, or total resources of society. There is objectively enough food prepared. What is this? There is objectively enough food prepared at the top to feed every single person in the tower. Oh, I have seen that movie. Yes, I have seen that. Yes, and like, yeah, this platform goes down, and there's always these fat pigs that eat it all before it even gets down. Food drives the psychological breakdown of the inmates. On the upper floors, yeah, I know this one. Luxury food breeds gluttony. Yep, sure does. Wastefulness and the complete lack of empathy for those below. On the lower floors, the absolute deprivation of food strips away human dignity, forcing civilized people to resort to extreme violence, madness, and cannibalism just to survive. That's where he like cut a strip of his back out or something. The administration uses food as a psychological experiment to test human nature, knowing it will cause conflict. Later in the film, food changes from a source of desperation into a political tool. The main character realizes that the only way to protest the broken system is to control the food, ration it forcefully, and send a message back to the creators of the prison. Yep. I mean, the speed of weight loss. Yes, yes. True, yeah. Like, it's just hard to burn fat at a quick rate. Like, it depends on, like I said, there's many factors that go into metabolism. You know, metabolism, how your body responds to certain things, but like it just has to work. Like if you're just dieting and doing the right things, you will lose the weight. I know everyone wants to lose it quick, but you know, like you'll get there if you do the right things. But that is a great movie. Platform is a hell of a movie. I think they made a second one, didn't they? They make a second one? No, maybe. I thought they might have. Or the people that made it made another movie. Can't remember now. The main message I got from the movie is to eat what your body needs and leave the rest to others. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Eat what you need, exactly. Because it's tempting, like I think we already had this discussion. You want to eat till you're really full sometimes, but it's good to just like portion it out, you know, all right, I've got enough protein, like I'm not going to lose any muscle. I've got enough carbs where I know that I'm going to have like energy breakdown in a sustainable way, because you got like obviously short-term carbs, like sugar, where you get the sugar spikes from like energy drinks and shit, and then you got like good like what is you got your good carbs and your bad carbs. So like yeah, your good carbohydrates, they're like a sustained release of energy for the body. And then yeah, you know, bit of protein, some vegetables, some carbs, well balanced, happy days. No worries, bro. You have a good one. You stay magnificent. But it's a hard thing, man. A person must fight their desires, yep. That they must. Like even then, like it's hard for me too, man. Like, you know, like I'm gonna go this last, like, what is it? I got like 27 days or something to get this 6-pack. And I'm gonna be going pretty hard. I don't know if I'm gonna reach 75 kilos like I want to in the next 20 like 3-4 weeks or whatever, but yeah, you gotta fight your desires the whole way. It's amazing how just having a little bit less than what you normally eat and that hunger, how it compounds, and you can get grumpy and oof. It gets rough, but it's all worth it, you know? You just gotta keep thinking of that end result. You just gotta keep thinking of the end goal. You need the desire of the end result to be stronger than the desire of like satisfying your impulse. Where is this? Menelaus replied, "How do I take your meaning? Am I to stay with them and wait your coming, or shall I return here as soon as I have given your orders?" "Wait," answered King Agamemnon, "for there are so many paths about the camp that we might miss one another. Call every man on your way, and bid him be stirring. Name him by his lineage and by his father's name. Give each all titular observance, and stand not too much upon your own dignity. We must take our full share of toil, for at our birth Zeus laid this heavy burden upon us. With these instructions he sent his brother on his way, and went on to Nestor, shepherd of his people. He found him sleeping in his tent, hard by his own ship. His goodly armour lay beside him, his shield, his 2 spears, and his helmet. Beside him also lay the gleaming girdle with which the old man girded himself when he armed to lead his people into battle. For his age stayed him not. He raised himself on his elbow and looked up at Agamemnon. Who is it, said he, that goeth thus about the host and the ships alone in the dead of night, when men are sleeping? Are you looking for one of your mules or for some comrade? Do not stand there and say nothing, but speak. What is your business? And Agamemnon answered, Nestor, son of Neleus, honour to the Achaean name. It is I, Agamemnon, son of Atreus, on whom Zeus has laid labour and sorrow so long as there is breath in my body and my limbs carry me. I am thus abroad because sleep sits not upon my eyelids, but my heart is big with war, and with jeopardy of the Achaeans. I am in great fear for the Danaans. I am at sea, and without sure counsel, my heart beats as though it would leap out of my body, and my limbs fail me. If then you can do anything, for you too cannot sleep, let us go to the round of the watch, and see whether they are drowsy with toil and sleeping to the neglect of their duty. The enemy is encamped hard by, and we know not, but he may attack us by night. How do you feel now that you've reached 80 today? Not too bad, to be honest. Not too bad. I feel alright. Like when you say 80, do you mean the because there you go, because I'm sort of like 80 in kilograms and I'm 80 on the stream roughly, in my streak. But I feel good in both, you know. In my weight, I feel alright. You know, like I said, I don't really feel too much different to Slider, but when it comes to the streak, and 80 days have been doing this, and really it's been like 130 days, because like I said, I restarted at about 84 days last time. So I should be at about 160 days in, to be honest. But because I missed one walking session, one exercise session, I restarted the whole thing. Yeah, I think there's a lot more focus. Because once, like, you'll get those days where, like, you want to drink and stuff like that. They come and go. I think it's pairing with certain things. But otherwise, I feel super determined. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm on the path to who I should be. But in myself, like, health-wise and stuff like that, it's good. Like, now when I'm eating and stuff like that, like, say if I did eat something I shouldn't, like, you know, noodles or whatever, or like some homemade chips, like, I don't get heart, like, I can't feel my heart anymore when I lie down, which is nice. You know, when I drink, like, when I used to drink, I used to get, like, the heart things when I was lying down. I could feel my own heart. I feel very, very focused. I feel very, very determined. I feel like it's going to be easy for me now to slip into the obsession mind state that I need in order to achieve all my goals. But I don't know. Like, part of it feels like there's a form of, like, I'm doing the right thing, and yet there's a form of emptiness. You get that feeling as well, because it's like, I'm scared my mate at the gym's right, like, maybe it'll never be enough. But I don't know. I don't know, I guess it's a mixed bag, you know? Like, sometimes I'm seriously content, and other times I'm like battling my own mind sometimes. I don't know. But I think that's normal. That's normal. But from day 82 till now, from the beginning, I don't know, I guess it's a mix. Like I said, some days are easier than others, you know what I mean? James, thank you for the raid, my brother. How are you? Did you wrap it up? I commend you on your consistency. Many people need it. Myself included. Yeah, we all need our own form of consistency. It's hard to get through those times when, like, Because I've noticed that it's when you do dig deep through those days where you don't want to do it. That tends to be not always the case, but that does tend to be when the best things happen, when the biggest breakthroughs happen. Like you feel crap, like, oh, I don't want to do it, and then you do it, and then the next day maybe some like great result came from it. Maybe something awesome happens that day as a result of it. It's not always, but it usually compounds, and the ability to keep the mind strong. All right, James, you have a good one, bro. You stay magnificent. I appreciate it. To the next time. Rebecca, how are you going? Yeah, push through the resistance, so long as the resistance is actually a physical or mental health barrier. So long as the resistance is actually a physical... Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, it's, you know, there's ups and downs. But I'm just so... I think I'm going insane slowly. Because I know what I need to do. And I know that that will come with a lot of sacrifices. You know what I mean? It's like, what am I willing to sacrifice now for the future? And what short-term pain am I willing to sacrifice now in order to achieve all those things that I know I want to achieve and I need to achieve in order to feel the fulfillment and the contentedness that I want? Because there's so many things I'm trying to like I'm trying to climb a mountain. But all these mountains, like it's how to explain it. It's like there's so many goals and they all converge to the top of the same mountain. Like I'm trying to climb a mountain in several different ways at once, where they all converge. I don't know. What's going on here? Doing good, having to ignore my game in hopes that it doesn't keep crashing while my clan folk peeps catch up with the 3K tasks that they're trying to do. Well, what are you playing? Bro, you the fight? Yeah, I saw the fight, Kushtab. What's this? One's 11 meters. How's it going? The thing that scares me most is the success. True, because you know with success comes its own challenges and barriers, but I just still want to be me even if I succeed, you know what I mean? Dan, there he is. Like, I don't want to ever change, you know? I have to be me. Dan. I know this frustration, and yes, choosing what to give up to move towards the future you want. Yeah, it is not easy. It's not easy. But I know it's all for the short term. Like, even if I lose, like, time with family, it's ultimately so I can get more time with them in the future. Like, you know what I mean? Everything's a give and a take, and you really have to think carefully about what decisions you're making now. How they're going to cost, like, yeah, that they hurt for now, you know? I've never played Clan Folk, by the way. But there you go, I'm just waxing philosophical here, you know? But yeah, that's just my mind. Like I said, starting this challenge, it's just really, how much did we make from the pot? You wouldn't believe it, the Queen made money. I put one bet on and lost the first bet, and the Queen made, I think she made like 30, 40 bucks from it. I couldn't believe it. Because all her fights were to, like, most of the bets she put on were to win in rounds 2, 3, or 4, and none of the fights went the distance, so she won money. I couldn't believe it. An obscure game, no one plays it on Twitch, which is sad. Clans Folk. Scottish Highlands. Harness your environment to survive. Fish, gather, hunt, and farm as you prepare for the winter. That sounds a lot like Manor Lords. Sound a lot like it. Yes, Dan. How are you? How are you, my brother? How are you going? You always see this water on the live stream. How many liters do I drink a day? I don't know. I've only just started the sparkling again, to be honest. I'll probably have a break from it again. But you going good? That's good. How's work been? You been alright? I've been slow at my work. I haven't really picked up anything. I've really got to do some more advertising there. You should get a soda stream. Maybe. Probably save me some money. These things really like $1, so not too bad. It is a bit like Mana Lords, but still evolving. Still evolving, but it's already epic. Mostly resembles RimWorld, but with no raiders, insects, or mechanics. Ah, yeah, mechanoids. Queen has to split money because I don't make any. No, never, mate. Where on your YouTube you have uploaded all 82 days challenge stream video. Well, yeah, I have, yeah. Yeah, I've uploaded them all. But how many liters do I drink? I don't know. Depends on the day. Some days I probably have like a liter. Some days I have about like 5, 6, 7 liters, I reckon. But it depends on the day. I don't really know. Queen needs to give us an allowance. Trust me, I'm glad she's won some money, alright, because the horses are not so good, but like when, I don't know, there's just these periods of luck, you know, that come our way. Like I'm still winning on the baseball. The baseball's where you win. Still kicking ass on that. But yeah. Consistency is key. Even when you don't want to be. Yeah, it's been one of those sort of rides where I think now I'm ready to go fully obsessed. Hey Cordy, did you hear about what Kushtab said about you? He said your name was Cordy, the cooties queen. Did you hear that? I think she's passed out. I think she's asleep. She's had a big day. Listening to me screaming, yelling at the TV in excitement. I watched that incredible fight today. I was so happy. I was so happy. Justin Gaethje beating that Ilia Topuria. That was a great fight. Oh, this is the thing, you know. Throw something at it. I don't want to get bitten, mate. I know better than to do that to my wife. I know better than that. I know better than to do that. It's not very good. Hey, I finished the Bible yesterday. I read for 4 hours on the stream. I did that. That was a big one. So we're done that. Now we're back to the Iliad. We got this stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Iliad Topuria, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, unless you like Khabib, you know, you're not gonna, there's just never gonna be like another truly undefeated fighter. Not for a while. It's so rare to find that John Jones, that Khabib Nurmagomedov dominance. Nearly everyone has some form of weakness that like even Jones, you know, let's be honest, Jones probably lost a fight or two. He just didn't on the scorecards. But otherwise, you know, he's got all the tools to like be undefeated. Khabib's got all the tools to you know, if he grabs you, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like you ain't ever getting up. Like I thought Hamzat would be that next guy, but he's too much of a maniac. He's not disciplined enough. Then again, he just couldn't take down Strickland, so that was a big problem there. It's weird how Strickland was like the kryptonite for that. What's this? Day 12, Stream Australia team jersey looks great. Oh yeah, you got this one. Yeah, the Australia team. My favourite Australia jersey is from the 2010 T20 World Cup. That was awesome. Also semi-final match in 2010 T20 World Cup. Oz vs Pakistan. The Michael Husky 24 ball 60. Yep. Look at that. Look at a cricket fan here. That's good. We've fallen off the rails now. The guy who wrote that likes donuts and works in a nuclear power plant. Who's this? You talking about the Iliad, or are you talking about not sure. You're talking about the Bible. Oh, this one. Oh, Homer, yeah, that's right. You're right. Homer, now I get it. Fucking hell, I'm a bit slow there. Thanks, MJ. Yeah, it did take a while. I was very determined to read it. I was like, alright, been reading it for 7 months. I tried to like read a book or two in the meantime. It's just time to get it done. So I got it done. It's hard to find people where you can break even on, like, it depends. You can, but that's a secret tactic. I think it's what's the name of it? It's called arbitrage betting, where there is a way, if you've got enough sports bets accounts, or sport betting account, whatever it's called. Yes, you know, betting accounts across different things, like the different agencies. And there is a way to calculate where you always end out on top. But if they catch on to you, they will ban you. But we would never do that. We would never take advantage of a system like that, where it's guaranteed money. The guy who wrote, yep. I'm an Indian fan. How can I not be? Some Indians don't like cricket. I don't know whether they had their hearts broken when they were younger. I don't know what happened, but some of them don't like it. No, I lost all my money. Now I'm going to God's place. No, you're not going to go there. No. Are you watching the World Cup in America? No. I was happy. Everyone was writing Australia off, and let's be honest, Australia probably shouldn't have. Australia probably shouldn't have won. I'm happy they beat Turkey, but like, let's be honest, Turkey had possession like 78% of the time. With that style that we played with, yeah, we're going to win sometimes, but we're not going to win often enough. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just rely, like they're on defense, but sometimes the best defense is having the ball in your possession and actually, like, you know, having possession, like, instead of, like, you know, they have the ball, you kick it out of bounds. You have the ball, you kick it straight back to them. You have the ball, they have the ball, the opposition, and then you get it and kick it away. You know, like, how about you hold on to the ball and try scoring more goals and try get the fucking ball away from your end of the, like, your goals, and you're more likely to use, like, you know what I mean? It's just common sense, it seems like. Make sure there's time where they don't have the ball and you're having more opportunities at the goals. Like, it seems like that would increase your likelihood of winning instead of this fucking shutdown defense. But it worked, but I don't see it working all the time. We got really lucky, Australia did. They got seriously lucky. I was watching, I was happy. I was very happy. 17th of June, Argentina and Portugal games. I'm excited for that. Yes. Oh, yeah, Messi and Ronaldo, yep. But, yeah. Like, I don't know. I was like, but at least we proved that guy wrong. I was more happy that we proved him wrong. Because there was some guy who was talking absolute shit about Australia, and there was that patriotic instinct that said, you know, fuck this guy. And I really wanted us to win. That competitiveness kicked in. I was like, come on, boys, get the win. Everyone wants their country to win, you know. I don't know how the media, they go a bit crazy with it, but we did alright. We did do alright. I just want us to be slightly more attacking. I think that will put us in a better position as opposed to like it was scary watching the way they played. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we've got 2 goals, and there's always that fear like, oh, we got to screw it up. But we held on. We held on. So we could not complain. Now, where are we? Agamemnon, the Danans. I am in great fear for the Danans. I am at sea, and without sure counsel, my heart beats as though it would leap out of my body, and my limbs fail me. If then you can do anything, for you too cannot sleep, let us go the round of the watch, and see whether they are drowsy with toil and sleeping to the neglect of their duty. The enemy is encamped hard by, and we know not but he may attack us by night. Nestor replied, Most noble son of Atreus, king of men, Agamemnon, Zeus will not do all for Hector that Hector thinks he will. He will have troubles yet in plenty if Achilles will lay aside his anger. I will go with you, and we will rouse others, either the son of Tydeus, or Odysseus, or fleet Ajax and the valiant son of Phyleus. Someone had also better go and call Ajax and King Idomeneus, for their ships are not near at hand, but the farthest of all. I cannot, however, refrain from blaming Menelaus, much as I love him and respect him, and I will say so plainly, even at the risk of offending you, for sleeping and leaving all this trouble to yourself. He ought to be going about imploring aid from all the princes of the Achaeans, for we are in extreme danger. What's going on here? Guys, I'm going to my place. See you in heaven. Good night. Good night, my bro. You stay magnificent. 2026 World Cup is expected to be the final World Cup for Messi and Ronaldo. Yeah, well, you know, Ronaldo's 41. Both icons will become the only male players in history to feature in 6 different... Is that true? Fucking hell, the longevity on those guys. 41 years old. I couldn't believe Ronaldo was 41 years old when I looked at him. I'm like, look at the shape that guy's in. I fucking hope I'm look like that at 41. That guy's a beast. Yeah, don't die though. You're not allowed to die. Okay, I will send my... Kushtab. Kushtab. And Agamemnon answered, Sir, you may sometimes blame him justly, for he is often remiss and unwilling to exert himself, not indeed from sloth, nor yet heedlessness, but because he looks to me and expects me to take the lead. On this occasion, however, he was awake before I was, and came to me on his own accord. I have already sent him to call the very man whom ye have named, and now let us be going. We shall find them with the watch outside the gates, for it was there I said that we would meet them. In that case, answered Nestor, the Argives will not blame him nor disobey his orders when he urges them to fight or gives them instructions. With this, he put on his shirt and bound his sandals about his comely feet. He buckled on his purple coat of 2 thicknesses, large and of a rough shaggy texture, grasped his redoubtable bronze-shod spear, and wended his way along the line of the Achaean ships. First he called loudly to Odysseus, peer of gods in council, and woke him, for he was soon roused by the sound of the battle cry. He came outside his tent and said, Why do you go thus alone about the host, and along the line of the ships in the stillness of the night? What is it that you find so urgent? And Nestor, knight of Gerene, answered, Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, take it not amiss, for the Achaeans are in great straits. Come with me, and let us wake some other, who may advise well with us whether we shall fight or fly. Look at that, fight or flight. Comely feet. You like that, did you? Comely feet. Some people love feet a lot, to the point where they do make comely feet. You too, MJ. You stay magnificent, my friend. Now I gotta get to the boring part. I gotta get the reading done. I do gotta get the reading done. But I'll always stop to chat. Comely feet. It wasn't spelled like that, Dan. It wasn't spelled like that. Although it should be. I have you get the sleeping done. Maybe I should I do a sleep stream? I was gonna do this thing where I slept for 30 days in my weights, my full weights. Once I get up to the 30 kilograms of weight, I was just gonna sleep like that, like a fork, or what was that thing, when you lie flat out, with the wrist and ankle weights, and I was just gonna sleep like that with the 30 kilos on me. And just like stream that out in the lounge room. You reckon that's a good idea? The AI said that'd be terrible. I probably wouldn't rest well for the entire month, but full Nelson, is that what it's called? What's full Nelson? Oh no. Oh, I can't even look that up. Put this motherfucker. Lucky I'm blurred. Lucky I've got blur on. I can't believe I looked that up. Fucking hell. Mitchell. Anyway, don't look that up, kids. Don't look that up. On this, Odysseus went at once into his tent, put his shield about his shoulders, and came out with them. First they went to Diomed, son of Tydeus, and found him outside his tent, clad in his armour, with his comrades sleeping round him and using their shields as pillows. As for their spears, they stood upright on the spikes of their butts that were driven into the ground. And the burnished bronze flashed afire like the lightning of Father Zeus. The hero was sleeping upon the skins of an ox, with a piece of fine carpet under his head. Nestor went up to him and stirred him with his heel to rouse him, upbraiding him and urging him to bestir himself. Wake up, he exclaimed. Son of Tydeus, how can you sleep on this way? Can you not see that the Trojans are encamped on the brow of the plain hard by our ships, with but a little space between us and them? On those words, Diomed leaped up instantly and said, Old man, your heart is of iron. You rest not one moment from your labours. Are there no younger men among the Achaeans who could go to rouse about the princes? There is no tiring you. Sleepy time, bye-bye. Oh, you off too, bro? Alrighty, fair enough. Sorry, someone stole my phone and typed that. What was it? I don't know. It said it was some sexual position with some form of penetration, and I sort of stopped there because I realised, I shouldn't have looked that up. But yeah, but that's what it was. But you stay magnificent, Dan. Don't let anyone play with your phone that shouldn't. And yeah, you have a great night, buddy. You take care. And Nestor, knight of Gerene, made answer, My son, all that you have said is true. I have good sons, and also much people who might call the chieftains. But the Achaeans are in the gravest danger. Life and death are balanced, as it were, on the edge of a razor. Go then, for you are younger than I, and of your courtesy rouse Ajax and the fleet son of Phyleus. Diomed threw the skin of a great tawny lion about his shoulders, a skin that reached his feet, and grasped his spear. When he had roused the heroes, he brought them back with him. They then went to the round of those who were on guard, and found the captains not sleeping at their posts, but wakeful and sitting with their arms about them, as sheepdogs that watch their flocks when they are yarded, and hear a wild beast coming through the mountain forest towards them. Forthwith there is a huge and cry of dogs and men, and slumber is broken. Even so was sleep chased from the eyes of the Achaeans as they kept the watches of the wicked night, for they turned constantly towards the plains whenever they heard any stir among the Trojans. The old man was glad, and bade them be of good cheer. Watch on, my children, said he, and let not sleep get hold upon you, lest our enemies triumph over us. With this he passed the trench, and with him the other chiefs of the Achaeans who had been called to the council. Meriones and the brave son of Nestor went also, for the princes bade them. When they were beyond the trench that was dug around the wall, they held their meeting on the open ground where there was a space clear of corpses. For it was here that when night fell, Hector had turned back from his onslaught on the Argives. They sat down, therefore, and held debate with one another. Nestor spoke first. My friends, said he, is there any man bold enough to venture among the Trojans and cut off some straggler, or bring us news of what the enemy mean to do, whether they will stay here by the ships away from the city, or whether, now that they have worsted the Achaeans, they will retire within their walls? If he could learn all this and come back safely here, his fame would be high as heaven in the mouths of all men, and he would be rewarded richly, for the chiefs from all our ships would each of them give him a black ewe with her lamb. This is a present of surpassing value, and he would be asked as a guest to all feasts and clan gatherings. They all held their peace, but Diomed of the loud war cry spoke, saying, Nestor, gladly will I visit the host of the Trojans over against us. But if another will go with me, I shall do so in greater confidence and comfort. When two men are together, one of them may see some opportunity which the other has not caught sight of. If a man is alone, he is less full of resources, and his wit is weaker. On this, several offered to go with Diomed. The two Ajaxes, servants of Ares, Meriones, and the son of Nestor all wanted to go. So did Menelaus, son of Atreus. Odysseus also wished to go among the host of the Trojans, for he was ever full of daring. And thereon Agamemnon, king of men, spoke thus. Diomed, said he, son of Tydeus, man after my own heart, choose your comrade for yourself. Take the best man of those that have offered, for many would now go with you. Do not, through delicacy, reject the better man, and take the worst out of respect for his lineage, because he is of more royal blood. He said this because he feared for Menelaus. Diomed answered, If you bid me take the man of my own choice, how in that case can I fail to think of Odysseus, than whom there is no man more eager to face all kinds of danger, and Pallas Athene loves him well. If he were to go with me, we should pass safely through fire itself, for he is quick to see and understand. Son of Tydeus, replied Odysseus, say neither good nor ill about me, for you are among Argives who know me well. Let us be going, for the night wanes and dawn is at hand. The stars have gone forward, 2/3 of the night are already spent, and the third is alone left us. They then put on their armour. Brave Thrasymedes provided the son of Tydeus with a sword and a shield, for he had left his own at his ship, and on his head he set a helmet of bull's hide without either peak or crest. It is called a skull cap, and is a common headgear. Meriones found a bow and quiver for Odysseus, and on his head he set a leathern helmet that was lined with a strong plating of leathern thongs, while on the outside it was thickly studded with boar's teeth, well and skillfully set into it. Next to the head there was an inner lining of felt. This helmet had been stolen by Autoclyses out of Ilion when he brake into the house of Amnator, son of Ormenus. He gave it to Amphidamas of Cirtha to take to Scandia, and Amphidamas gave it as a guest gift to Mollus, who gave it to his son Meriones, and now it was set upon the head of Odysseus. When the pair had armed, they set out, and left the other chieftains behind them. Pallas Athene sent them a heron by the wayside upon their right hands. They could not see it for the darkness, but they heard its cry. Odysseus was glad when he heard it and prayed to Athene. Hear me, he cried, daughter of aegis-bearing Zeus. You who spy out all my ways and who are with me in all my hardships, befriend me in this mine hour, and grant that we may return to the ships covered with glory after having achieved some mighty exploit that shall bring sorrow to the Trojans. Then Diomed of the loud war cry also prayed. Hear me too, said he, daughter of Zeus, unweariable. Be with me even as you were with my noble father Tydeus when he went to Thebes as envoy sent by the Achaeans. He left the Achaeans by the banks of the river Aesopus and went to the city bearing a message of peace to the Cadmeans. On his return thence, with your help, goddess, he did great deeds of daring, for you were his ready helper. Even so, guide me and guide me now, and in return I will offer you in sacrifice a broad-browed heifer of a year old, unbroken, and never yet brought by man under the yoke. I will gild her horns and will offer her up to you in sacrifice. Thus they prayed, and Pallas Athene heard their prayer. When they had done praying to the daughter of great Zeus, they went their way like two lions prowling by night amid the armour and blood-stained bodies of them that had fallen. Neither again did Hector let the Trojans sleep, for he too called the princes and counsellors of the Trojans, that he might set his counsel before them. Is there one, said he, who for a great reward will do me the service of which I will tell you? He shall be well paid if he will. I will give him a chariot and a couple of horses, the fleetest that can be found at the ships of the Achaeans. If he will dare this thing, and he will win infinite honour to boot, he must go to the ships and find out whether they are still guarded as heretofore, or whether now that we have beaten them, that the Achaeans design to fly, and through sheer exhaustion are neglecting to keep their watches. They all held their peace. But there was among the Trojans a certain man named Dolon, son of Eumedes, the famous herald, a man rich in gold and bronze. He was ill-favoured, but a good runner, and was an only son among the 5 sisters. He it was that now addressed the Trojans. I, Hector, said he, will go to the ships and will exploit them. But first hold up your sceptre and swear that you will give me the chariot, but dye it with bronze, and the horses that now carry the noble son of Peleus. I will make you a good scout, and will not fail you. I will go through the host from one end to the other till I come to the ship of Agamemnon, where I take it the princes of the Achaeans are now consulting whether they shall fight or fly. When he had done speaking, Hector held up his sceptre, and swore him his oath, saying, May Zeus, the thundering husband of Hera, bear witness that no other Trojan but yourself shall mount those steeds, and that you shall have your will with them forever. The oath he swore was bootless, but it made Dolon more keen on going. He hung his bow over his shoulder, and as an overall he wore the skin of a grey wolf, while on his head he set a cap of ferret skin. Then he took a pointed javelin, and left the camp for the ships, but he was not to return with any news for Hector. When he had left the horses and the troops behind him, he made all speed on his way, but Odysseus perceived his coming and said to Diomed, Diomed, here is someone from the camp. I am not sure whether he is a spy, or whether it is some thief who would plunder the bodies of the dead. Let him get a little past us. We can then spring upon him and take him. If, however, he is too quick for us, go after him with your spear and hem him in towards the ships away from the Trojan camp, to prevent his getting back to the town. With this, they turned out of their way and lay down among the corpses. Dolon suspected nothing and soon passed them. But when he had got about as far as the distance by which a mule-ploughed furrow exceeds one that has been ploughed by oxen, for mules can plough fallow land quicker than oxen, they ran after him. And when he had heard their footsteps, he stood still, for he made sure they were friends from the Trojan camp come by Hector's order to bid him return. When, however, they were only a spear's cast, or less, away from him, he saw that they were enemies, and ran away as fast as his legs could take him. The others gave chase at once, and as a couple of well-trained hounds press forward after a doe or hare that runs screaming in front of them, even so did the son of Tydeus and Odysseus pursue Dolon and cut him off from his own people. But when he had fled so far towards the ships that he would soon have fallen in with the outposts, Athene infused fresh strength into the son of Tydeus for fear that some of the Achaeans might have the glory of being first to hit him, and he might himself be only second. He therefore sprang forward with his spear and said, "Stand, or I shall throw my spear, and in that case I shall soon make an end of you." He threw as he spoke, but missed his aim on purpose. The dart flew over the right man's shoulder, and then struck in the ground. He stood stock still, trembling and in great fear. His teeth chattered, and he turned pale with fear. The two came breathless up to him and seized his hands, whereon he began to weep and said, "Take me alive, I will ransom myself. We have great store of gold, bronze, and wrought iron, and from this my father will satisfy you with a very large ransom, should he hear of my being alive with the ships of the Achaeans." "Fear not," replied Odysseus. "Let no thought of death be in your mind, but tell me, and tell me true. Why are you thus going about alone in the dead of night away from your camp and towards the ships, while other men are sleeping? Is it to plunder the bodies of the slain? Or did Hector send you to spy out what was going on at the ships? Or did you just come here of your own mere notion?" Dolon answered, his limbs trembling beneath him. "Hector, with his vain flattering promises, lured me from my better judgment. He said he would give me the horses of the noble son of Peleus and his bronze Bedazined chariot. He bade me to go through the darkness of the flying night, get close to the enemy, and find out whether the ships are still guarded as heretofore, or whether, now as we have beaten them, the Achaeans design to fly, and through sheer exhaustion are neglecting to keep their watches." Odysseus smiled at him and answered, "You had indeed set your heart upon a great reward, but the horses of the descendant of Asus are hardly to be kept in hand or driven by any other mortal man than Achilles himself, whose mother was an immortal. But tell me, and tell me true, where did you leave Hector when you started? Where lies his armor and his horses? How, too, are the watches and sleeping ground of the Trojans ordered? What are their plans? Will they stay here by the ships and away from the city, or, now that they have worsted the Achaeans, will they retire within the walls?" And Dolon answered, "I will tell you truly all. Hector and the other counsellors are now holding conference by the monument of great Ilus, away from the general tumult. As for the guards, about which you ask me, there is no chosen watch to keep guard over the host. The Trojans have their watchfires, for they are bound to have them. They, therefore, are awake and keep each other to their duty as sentinels. But the allies who have come from other places are asleep and leave it to the Trojans to keep guard, for their wives and children are not here." Odysseus then said, "Now tell me, are they sleeping among the Trojan troops, or do they lie apart? Explain this that I may understand it." "I will tell you truly all," replied Dolon. "To the seaward lie the Carians, and the Paeonian bowmen, the Lelesias, the Ciconians, and the noble Pelasgi. The Lycians and the proud Mysians, and the Phrygians and Meonians have their place on the side towards Thymbra. But why ask about all this? If you want to find your way into the host of the Trojans, there are the Thracians, who have lately come here and lie apart from the others at the far end of the camp, and they have Rhesus, son of Eioneus, for their king. His horses are the finest and strongest that I have ever seen. They are whiter than snow, and fleeter than any wind that blows. His chariot is bedight with silver and gold, and he has brought his marvellous golden armour, of the rarest workmanship, too splendid for any mortal man to carry, and meet only for the gods. Now, therefore, take me to the ships or bind me securely here, until you come back and have proved my words whether they be false or true." Diomed looked sternly at him and answered, "Think not, Dolon, for all the good information you have given us, that you shall escape now you are in our hands. For if we ransom you or let you go, you will come some second time to the ships of the Achaeans either as a spy or as an open enemy. But if I kill you and make an end of you, you will give no more trouble." On this Dolon would have caught him by the beard to beseech him further, but Diomed struck him in the middle of his neck with his sword and cut through both sinews, so that his head fell rolling in the dust while he was yet speaking. They took the ferret skin cap from his head, and also the wolf skin, the bow, and his long spear. Odysseus hung them up aloft in honour of Athene, the goddess of plunder, and prayed, saying, "Accept these, goddess, for we give them to you in preference to all the gods in Olympus. Therefore speed us still further towards the horses and sleeping ground of the Thracians." I need to pee real quick. Alright. With these words, he took up the spoils and set them upon a tamarisk tree, and they marked the place by pulling up reeds and gathering boughs of tamarisk that they might not miss it as they came back through the flying hours of darkness. The two then went onwards amid the fallen armour and the blood, and came presently to the company of Thracian soldiers who were sleeping, tired out with their day's toil. Their goodly armour was lying on the ground beside them, all orderly in 3 rows, and each man had his yoke of horses beside him. Rhesus was sleeping in the middle, and hard by him his horses were made fast to the topmost rim of his chariot. Odysseus, from some way off, saw him and said, "This, Diomed, is the man, and these are the horses about which Dolon, whom we killed, told us. Do your very utmost, dally not about your armour, but loose the horses at once, or else kill the men yourself, while I see to the horses." Thereon Athene put courage into the heart of Diomed, and he smote them right and left. They made a hideous groaning as they were being hacked about, and the earth was red with their blood. As a lion springs furiously upon a flock of sheep or goats when he finds them without their shepherd, so did the son of Tydeus set upon the Thracian soldiers till he had killed 12. As he killed them, Odysseus came and drew them aside by their feet one by one, that the horses might go forward freely without being frightened, as they passed over the dead bodies, for they were not yet used to them. When the son of Tydeus came to the king, he killed him too, which made 13, as he was breathing hard, for by the counsel of Athene an evil dream, the seed of Onus, hovered that night over his head. Meanwhile Odysseus untied the horses, made them fast one to another, and drove them off, striking them with his bow, for he had forgotten to take the whip from the chariot. Then he whistled as a sign to Diomed, but Diomed stayed where he was, thinking what other daring deed he might accomplish. He was doubting whether to take the chariot in which the king's armour was lying, and draw it out by the pole, or to lift the armour out and carry it off, or whether again he should not kill some more Thracians. While he was thus hesitating, Athene came up to him and said, "Get back, Diomed, to the ships, or you may be driven thither, should some other god rouse the Trojans." Diomed knew that it was the goddess, and at once sprang upon the horses. Odysseus beat them with his bow, and they flew onward to the ships of the Achaeans. But Apollo kept no blind lookout when he saw Athene with the son of Tydeus. He was angry with her, and coming to the host of the Trojans, he roused Hippocoon, a counsellor of the Thracians and a noble kinsman of Rhesus. He started up out of his sleep and saw that the horses were no longer in their place, and that the men were gasping in their death agony. On this he groaned aloud and called upon his friend by name. Then the whole Trojan camp was in an uproar, as the people kept hurrying together, and they marvelled at the deeds of the heroes who had now gone away towards the ships. When they reached the place where they had killed Hector's scout, Odysseus stayed his horses, and the son of Tydeus, leaping to the ground, placed the blood-stained spoils in the hands of Odysseus and remounted. Then he lashed the horses onwards, and they flew forwards, nothing I thought I heard some. Then the whole Trojan camp was in an uproar as the people kept hurrying together, and they marvelled at the deeds of the heroes who had now got away towards the ships. When they reached the place where they had killed Hector's scout, Odysseus stayed his horses, and the son of Tydeus, leaping to the ground, placed the blood-stained spoils in the hands of Odysseus and remounted. Then he lashed the horses onwards, and they flew forward nothing loath towards the ships, as though of their own free will. Nestor was first to hear the tramp of their feet. "My friends," said he, "princes and counsellors of the Argives, shall I guess right or wrong? But I must say what I think. There is a sound in my ears of the tramp of horses. I hope it may be Diomed and Odysseus driving in horses from the Trojans, but I much fear that the bravest of the Argives may have come to some harm at their hands." He had hardly done speaking when the two men came in and dismounted, whereon the others shook hands right gladly with them and congratulated them. Nestor, knight of Gerene, was first to question them. "Tell me," said he, "renowned Odysseus, how did you two come by these horses? Did you steal in among the Trojan forces, or did some god meet you and give them to you?" They are like sunbeams. I am well conversant with the Trojans, for old warrior though I am, I never hold back by the ships. But I never yet saw or heard of such horses as these are. Surely some god must have met you and given them to you, for you are both of you dear to Zeus and to Zeus's daughter Athene. And Odysseus answered, Nestor, son of Neleus, honour to the Achaean name. Heaven, if it so will, can give us even better horses than these, for the gods are far mightier than we are. These horses, however, about which you ask me, are freshly come from Thrace. Diomed killed their king with the 12 bravest of his companions. Hard by the ships we took a 13th man, a scout whom Hector and the other Trojans had sent as a spy upon our ships. He laughed as he spoke, and drove the horses over the ditch, while the other Achaeans followed him gladly. When they reached the strongly built quarters of the son of Tydeus, they tied the horses with thongs of leather to the manger, where the steeds of Diomed stood eating their sweet corn. But Odysseus hung the blood-stained spoils of Dolon at the stern of his ship, that they might prepare a sacred offering to Athene. As for themselves, they went into the sea and washed the sweat from their bodies and from their necks and thighs. When the sea water had taken all the sweat from off them and had refreshed them, they went into the baths and washed themselves. After they had done so, and had anointed themselves with oil, they sat down to table, and drawing from a full mixing bowl, made a drink offering of wine to Athene. Book 11. In the morning, when the battle is resumed, Agamemnon is wounded and retires to the ships. Hector, encouraged by Zeus, leads the Trojans forward. Diomed attacks and stuns Hector, but is himself wounded by Paris and leaves the field. Odysseus and the physician Machaon, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Machaon, I don't know. The fuck do I pronounce that? Machaon pronunciation in English.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain.
Say it. Come on.
Machaon.
Okay. And the physician Machaon are also wounded. Ajax tries to guard the Greek retreat while Nestor suggests to Achilles' friends Patroclus that he fights in Achilles' armor to deceive the Trojans. And now, as dawn rose from her couch beside Tithonus, harbinger of light alike to mortals and immortals, Zeus sent fierce discord with the ensign of war in her hands to the ships of the Achaeans. She took her stand by the huge black hull of Odysseus' ship, which was middlemost of all, so that her voice might carry furthest on either side. On the one hand towards the tents of Ajax, son of Telamon, and on the other towards those of Achilles, for these two heroes, well assured of their own strength, had valorously drawn up their ships at the two ends of the line. There she took her stand, and raised a cry both loud and shrill that filled the Achaeans with courage, giving them heart to fight resolutely and with all their might, so that they had rather stay there and do battle than go home in their ships. The son of Atreus shouted aloud and bade the Argives gird themselves for battle, while he put on his armour. First he girded his goodly greaves about his legs, making them fast with ankle clasps of silver, and about his chest he set the breastplate which Cinyras had once given him as a guest gift. It had been noised abroad as far as Cyprus that the Achaeans were about to sail for Troy, and therefore he gave it to the king. Okay, that's it for now. We're getting there. Alrighty. Love you. Success. Alrighty. Another day done. That's it. Day 82. Not bad. Stay magnificent, everyone. You have a great night, a great morning, a great day, great evening, great whatever. Take care. God bless. Stay magnificent. Bye bye.